we hold this country in usufruct. You know what that is? It's not a dirty word for you young people. That worried me the first time I read it. But basically, it's like, it comes from a farmer's word, I think, where you can do whatever you want with the land. You can cut the trees down, reroute the stream, do whatever you want to do. But when you turn it over to your son or daughter, it must be in as good a shape or better than you received it. Now, most of us in this room were born here by complete accident. We live here by choice, but we have a responsibility to turn over this country and its relationships with other nations, responsible nations, as good or better than we received it. And I don't think that we're doing it right now. And I think special relationships should be treasured, but we should also be willing to take non-traditional allies, make allies of non-traditional countries that have not traditionally been our allies. We need to be able to bring them on board. There are ones out there. I'll show you how much the power of inspiration is of America. My Marines on one occasion out in the western Euphrates River Valley told me when I was at one of the patrol bases, they'd picked up an IED layer the night before. Said, he's a really nice guy, he speaks English. I said, really? So I had him brought over to me. He spoke very good English, as good as mine, engineer. And it was not a good night for him. He's out there whistling, he's got his wheelbarrow, got his artillery round, got his wires, got his battery, digging it in. Looks up and there's 6 Marines standing around with automatic rifles. And so, kind of early retirement for his career. Good engineer. So I started talking to him, gave him a cup of coffee and stuff, and I said, why are you doing this? I mean, you're Sunni, the Marines out here are the only friends you got. Why are you doing this? He said, Crusaders, you go home. I said, knock it off. You're an educated man. Just get over that. Now tell me why you're doing it. And after a while, he finally said, well, yeah, you're right. He said, in my heart, I want you gone now. In my head, I know we need you guys out here. I said, okay. He said, I'm going to Abu Ghraib. Huh? I said, oh, yeah, you're going to Abu Ghraib. You've been wearing an orange jumpsuit for a long time. And he said, when I get out, do you think I could immigrate to America? But stop and think. How many people fighting in wars, where does the power of America really lie for these special friends or new friends that we could have? It's the power of inspiration. A guy literally trying to kill us. And he says, could I come to America? I don't know where you find that corollary in history of something like that. And I'm not saying this as some kind of propaganda kind of thing. This was in his words. He was educating me at this point. And the best thing I can tell you is we can use our power of inspiration and bring this community of nations, of responsive governments together. And they may call their head of state a president. They may elect him. It may be a queen of England. It may be a king of Saudi Arabia. We can pull nations together and find common ground on security issues, even if we don't agree on everything else. And that should be the passport to working with America, not perfection. As a guy named Will Rogers put it, it might surprise some back in the banana wars, surprise some Americans to hear that most people prefer an imperfect government of their own choosing rather than a perfect government forced on them by the bayonets of U.S. Marines. Interesting point.